Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning. Today we would like to present you the fieldwork replacement insect sampling. Our reference journal is the Emergence and Lateral Dispersal of Adult Plecoptera and Trichoptera from Broadstone Stream, UK. We are consist of four people, which are Nur Aida binti Muhammad Sa'ad, Nur Amirah Nas Syuhada binti Abdul Hadi, Nur Hidayah binti Osman, and Nurul Sharifah binti Hamzah. So, without wasting time, let us move to the introduction. The contributions of drift and upstream larval movement to colonization are well documented. Many studies inspired by the colonization cycle theory of Muller (1955–1992) have been carried out to investigate the migration of insects above the stream. Apart from this study, very little is known about the impact of the behavior of adult aquatic insects on larval abundance and in particular about the dispersal by flight perpendicular to streams. So, this study focused on emergence and inland dispersal of adult stoneflies and caddisflies from a small stream. The objective was to describe the dispersal of several common species, comparing males and females, and the distances which the insects travel. So, we move to the hypothesis.
The riparian vegetation provides food and thus affect the dispersal of adult stonefly and caddisfly.
Next, we move to the research question.
How did the common species of stonefly and caddisfly can have dispersal at the stream? What is the dominant sex of stoneflies and caddisflies that has been emerged and have dispersal at the stream? How can the distance of insect travel can affect the emergence and dispersal of stoneflies and caddisflies at the stream?
Next, let's move on to the literature review.
Next, move to the literature review. Insects constitute a large proportion of local biodiversity, particularly in tropical regions. Over 1 million insect species are described, with approximately 13,000 species are aquatic, living in fresh water. Although there are 30 until 31 insect orders, only 30 orders have aquatic representatives. Furthermore, this person were related to the riparian vegetation, as it may also affect the dispersal of adult aquatic insects. The stonefly adult lifespan between the 35 until 60 days for the species belonging to the Nemoridae and Lythridae. Next, the flight period for the male of stonefly or Lythra nigra and Lythra hyperpus were shorter than females, and were skewed toward the beginning, a pattern which also been observed in other studies. The factors triggering the emergence of the stonefly are still under discussion, but light, water temperature, discharge pattern, competition and nutrition in nymph stage have been proposed. The uneven sex ratio above the stream for both of the common species may be a result of the differences in behavior and activity between the sexes. Variation in climatic conditions and nutrition in larval stage may influence the life cycle.
Now, let's move on to the methodology. The study site was Broadstone Stream, an acidic and iron-rich stream in the Ashdown Forest of South-East England National Grid. The pyramidal emergent traps and bilateral mallet traps were used in this study. It covered a stream area of 0.15 meters square. A cotton wool wetted with a mixture of 70% isomethylated purine and glycerol. 15 emergence traps were placed randomly and a collection of the catch were collected weekly. In Malay trap, insects collected and killed in IMS. There are emptied once a week. 3 Malay traps were placed perpendicular above the stream. 12 were placed along a transect at 1, 15, 30. Now, let's move to the data presentation and findings.
I would like to continue with data presentation and findings. More than 16,000 individual stoneflies belonging to 11 species were caught. The 4 dominant species were Leuctra fusca, Leuctra nigra, Leuctra hippopus, and Nemorella picteti, which together accounted for 96% of the catch in the emergence traps and 95% in the Malay traps. Meanwhile, 400 individuals of caddisflies belonging to 22 species were caught. The 2 dominant species were Plectrocnemia conspersa and Potamophylax cingulatus, which together accounted for 63% of the catch in the Malay traps. Very few individual caddisflies were caught in the emergence trap. The emergence periods of Leuctra fusca, Leuctra nigra, and Leuctra hippopus were well defined. Leuctra hippopus emerged from 7 March and continued until 14 June 1996. Leuctra nigra emerged from 3 April to 26 July 1996, and Leuctra fusca emerged from 6 September, and a few individuals were still emerging at the end of the study on 1 November 1996. Numerella picteti was caught throughout the collection period and was still emerging at the end of the study. The pattern of catches was similar in the emergence and Malay trap, and when the catch declined in the emergence trap, it also declined in the Malay trap after a short lag. The flight period for the males of Leuctra nigra and Leuctra hippopus were shorter than for the females and were skewed toward the beginning. Numerella picteti was reported to have a univoltine life cycle and Leuctra nigra to have a semi-voltine life cycle, whereas the emergence pattern was found to be erratic for Numerella picteti and unimodal for Leuctra nigra. The factors triggering the emergence of stoneflies are like water temperature and discharge pattern, and competition and nutrition in the nymphal stage. The sex ratio of stoneflies overall significantly more females emerged than male, except Leuctra fusca. The female were in majority in the Malay trap above the stream. Though the sex ratio changed over the collection period for Leuctra nigra and Numerella picteti. The phenology of the caddisflies was estimated from the catch in the Malay traps because very few individual caddisflies were caught in the emergence traps. Plectrocnemia conspersa was taken from 31st May to 10 October 1996, with 50% of the individuals caught before 16 August 1996. Females of Potamophylax cingulatus were caught from 9 August to 18 October 1996, whereas males were only caught in the period from 23 August to 27 September 1996. Variation in climatic condition and nutrition in the larva stage may influence the life cycle and thus explain the difference in lax period. The sex ratio of caddisflies. Overall, the females were in the majority in the Malay trap, above the stream and on the land. Spatial distribution of stoneflies. The results suggest that the majority of adult stoneflies stay close to the stream, and we estimated that 50% and 90% of individuals travel less than 16 and 51 meters respectively. Individuals were caught out to 75 meters from the stream channel, and long-distance dispersal of few individuals between different catchments. Long-distance dispersal may be due to casual events, such as drifting in the wind and attraction by light. More individuals of Leuctra nigra and Neumorella picteti were caught out in the wood than on the open side, whereas Leuctra hippopus did not show an overall preference for either side of the stream. Leuctra fusca changed preference during the flight period. Initially, most individuals were caught out on the open land, but towards in the end of the study, most individuals were caught in the wood. Model for distribution of stoneflies, half the individuals went less than 11 to 60 meter from the stream, while 90% travel less than 51 meter. Females of Neumorella picteti seem to disperse slightly less into the open than into the wood, whereas the dispersal of Leuctra hippopus, Leuctra fusca, and Leuctra nigra was similar in the wood and the open. The majority of the caddisflies were caught in the vicinity of the stream. Thus, 83% of Potamophylax cingulatus and 94% of Plectrocnemia conspersa were caught within 15 meters of the stream. The dispersal patterns differ between Plectrocnemia conspersa and Potamophylax cingulatus. Although few individuals were caught, Potamophylax cingulatus seems to have a wider dispersal range than Plectrocnemia conspersa, as a better ability of large, strong flying to disperse. The uneven sex ratio above the stream for both of the common species may be a result of difference in behavior and activity between the sexes. Females with mature eggs need to oviposit in the stream, whereas the males have no reason to return. Last but not least, the hypothesis of stoneflies and caddisflies is the riparian vegetation provide food and thus influence the distribution of adult. The pattern found in this study could also be caused by physical factors such as temperature, humidity, wind, light, and shades. That's all from me. Thank you.
Last but not least, we move to the conclusion.
Lastly is the conclusion. Plecoptera and Trichoptera are good indicators of environmental condition in stream. Aquatic insects are excellent overall indicators of both recent and long-term environmental condition. Next, most adult aquatic insects stay close to the stream. Adults of variety or species actively select the streamside stream as a preferred site to rest, feed, or mate. This may be one reason why the recolonization of restored stream is the problem, and why some streams may not attain the high biodiversity expected from their physical and chemical condition. And lastly, adult aquatic insects are a part of the food web in the neighboring terrestrial ecosystem.